Hey guys, let's take a look at finding trademark law related resources on Lexis. So, one of the best places to come is to go below the search bar, and you'll see that we have different practice areas here. And one of them, of course, is trademark law. So, let's go ahead in. This is a page that trademark law attorneys can actually make their home page or star as a favorite. So they can easily get to these materials all the time. Now, using this search bar here, you know that you're searching everything here in trademark law. So it's one way you can run a search in literally everything we have on trademark law. But I'll be honest and tell you, I don't usually use this page if I'm just going to run a case law search, because for that, I'll come back to the home page and run a search in the general search bar above if I'm just going to run searches for case law, because I just like the functionality better of the main search bar. But when it comes to anything else trademark law related, then this screen becomes really cool. So now we scroll down, and I'll just close this off, and we can see that now it's bringing up statutes and legislation that are specific to trademark law. So here's the code, US Code Service Title 15. And when it opens it up, I can now start searching within just this particular code section. So we'll just type in confusion right now and see what it does. All right, so we're starting to see sections come up. If I want to be more specific here, I can always click codes, and now we're down in the specific codes. We know we don't have anything else on our screen, but we probably didn't anyway because of the way that we created the search. Now I can come into the statute and do research from here. Now, let me just point out a couple things while this is loading. You want to make sure that you know how to use the table of contents on the side of your screen, because that's going to allow you to move around and get to different code sections very close to the one that you're in. Because you guys know, not only are you going to need this particular section, but you'll probably need some other ones as well when you're dealing with this particular code. Okay, now don't forget, this is traditional research now when you have a code section. And what can you do? I can, for starters, go down to my notes of decisions. Remember, those are my notes that start to discuss cases that are interpreting my statute. Now, this is a massive statute. So I'm starting to try to figure out which one of these sections is going to be the one that I'm going to want to take a look at closely. Now, here's a likelihood of confusion and generally, so this is just like the basic stuff, but maybe now we're getting into very specifics. Is it a situation where there's a similarity of the mark? If so, then we can come on down. Is it a design of the mark that's the problem? And start reading the cases that Lexis is suggesting are some of the main cases that discuss this. Now, I'm going to come up and remind you another place to come are these citing decisions. Now, these are all the cases that cite this particular code section. And we can filter now using the filters that you know so well to find cases that are more on point with your particular subject. So we'll give it a minute to load. And one of the things we want to do right away, obviously, is narrow to our jurisdiction. So I can come on down to ninth. And now another filter people always forget, you might want to weed out anything that's not a reported case. So I can come in and click reported, and we are now looking at only the reported cases, and we've come down to 147. So that's a lot better set of results than what I first had. Now I can do something like design of mark, and I can be more specific, design within 4 words of confusion. 4 might be too small, right? So we want to decide what the best number is that we want to put here. Within 14 words, you can make this any number you want. And now I can run a search within the results that I have on the code section that I need, right? Okay, let's go back to trademark law again. So that was just kind of a little deep dive on statutory research using trademark law. And again, all we've done is use the code section that Lexis suggested. Now, below this is where you're going to find the Federal Register, where you can find all kinds of agency decisions linked from here that talk about trademark law. But then we have all trademark law and administrative materials here as well. So while all of these are also put in the Federal Register, this can be a really cumbersome database to search in. I could come here and look at all the different agencies that are related to trademark law right here. Like the U.S. Trademark Trial Appeal and Board decisions here. Now, some of these things may not be binding. You'd have to double check to see if any of these decisions are binding, but certainly the courts like to look at the agency decisions and see what the agency suggests and what they've done on a situation, and then they tend to follow that lead. Now, these are trademark law and regulations, so now you're going to start to see a page where we can find regulations that have to do with a particular statute or piece of trademark law. Let's go back. So those were trademark law admin and regulation materials. Below that, you're going to see more resources here like jury verdicts and settlements in case you want to find out, what damages might be for something. Trademark law jury instructions are a nice way to come in and find out the actual instructions read to the jury, and they always lay out the elements really nicely so the jurors can understand. So it's a good place to learn elements. These are real briefs, pleadings, and motions filed with the court. A lot of attorneys will use these as templates, so they'll come on into this database and start to run a search in real briefs, pleadings, and motions. And once they find a brief or a motion, whatever it is that you're trying to write, that's very similar to their set of facts and arguments, they might use that as a template, see who they cited. So these can be really useful. And coming on down, you will see now we have secondary materials. Now, this is really the key to this page because Lexis will bring up all trademark treatises and guides that we have available, and it also gives you the top secondary sources that we have available for trademark law right here for you to take a look. Let's take a look at all trademark law and treatises right now and see some names of treatises that we might want to take a look at. Trademark law and practice. Let's see. I don't want to miss one of the big ones for you. So this is the big one, Gilson on trademarks, and it probably should be on the page before because it is so big. So I definitely want you to know this source. If you're going to practice trademark law, you're going to get to know Gilson on trademarks. So here's how it works. I can either open up any of these plus signs and we can dive down manually and find something, or I can run a search above. I like to try to run search in the table of contents first. That means I'm looking through the titles of the chapters. So I may do something like genericness and see, does that come up in the table of contents? And if it doesn't, then I go back and search all the words of the page. So here it is, generic names, tests for genericness. That looks pretty good, right? And then a circuit by circuit look at the different ways courts treat genericness. So this may be something that I want to dive into. Now, I could go back and edit this search and run it in all the pages on the screen, or all the pages in this book, and that just means we're looking through all the notes. So I'm going to get back a lot more resources here because we're looking through all the notes and not just the titles of the chapters. So please remember Gilson on trademarks, one of the best treatises that you can use when dealing with trademark law. Okay, we're almost to the end of our page for trademark law. Let's go back in from the beginning and I'll hit trademark law again. Okay, so now forms, if you need to file, this is one place you can come, but I'll show you another place. Other popular trademark useful places that people will come, regarding companies, news, and finances. But the place I want to make sure you guys know is right here, called trademark registration. So again, we are here in trademark law under the practice center, and here's where we can actually search a particular trademark. So I came in a few minutes ago and practiced using this. Now you can see that I actually used quotes, which means I want Lexis to look for exactly what's inside my quotes. And that's because when I ran it without the quotes, I was finding things that mentioned Joe's, I was finding things that mentioned Trader, and I want to make sure that we are only looking at Trader Joe's. Now I could be more specific here and pick a particular state or the US federal, but I'm just going to run it in everything right now and see what pops up. Immediately, we're going to get the Trader Joe's trademarks that they have filed. Here are the regular Trader Joe's trademark filing. We can see it was done in 1997. Oh, it looks like this is for a particular vitamin. So maybe this isn't the first trademark, and we want to go in and continue searching to find that first trademark. But if I come on back, you can see if you guys go shopping in Trader Joe's, you've probably seen some of these names. They're the famous Trader Joe's brands that they created. Trader Jose, one of their coffee brands, I believe, hold the cone. So you can start to see Gila Monster is a type of drink. These are their bars that they've made, their fruit bars. So a lot of different things here that you can take a look at. I can sort oldest to newest, and that might bring up the original Trader Joe's type of trademark that I'm looking for. It looks like maybe November in 1981. This could be the first one. All right, maybe not. We're going to have to keep looking. Okay, so that's how you search for trademark law, actual registered trademarks. Now, let me go into one more place, and to do that, I'm going to come back to the beginning. And we will go to practical guidance. Now, trademark law is actually a part of practical guidance as well. So to do this, I'm going to come on down to intellectual property. Sorry, guys, I am not the best at trademark law, and somebody coached me on this. So under intellectual property, I should have known that, but I didn't know if we had a section just for trademark law. There is the trademark law. So we can keep diving down, and you can go in and find different practice notes that talk about trademark law. This will be a lot like secondary sources, the templates that you need to file. So you're filing certain documents regarding trademark law. We can probably pull up, filing for a trademark and that sort of thing located here as well. And I'm going to come on back, and we can take a look at a particular topic. So there's a couple ways we can do this. One way is to run a search and find anything inside of this database. So I can start my term again. And we're looking for anything that Lexis talks about on trademark law regarding genericness. Now, practice notes, again, are like secondary sources. So now I'm getting nice practice notes here that talk about my topic, and I can come on in and you can see you get a nice little table of contents to the page here, and then you will start to see the notes that you need similar to a secondary source. And yes, they do lead you to the primary law that you'll need as well. So these are written really nicely for trademark attorneys by trademark attorneys. All right, let's see what else we got. When we run the search, trackers will come up from time to time to keep abreast on the different issues going on with trademark law. So you can always go into a tracker and see different things going on and keep abreast to the different issues with genericness. And you can see that it's linking you to different decisions and things. So trademark attorneys are always trying to stay on top of these cases and what's come out. Okay, So that is trademark law. A little bit longer than I expected. Remember, we've gone to two places. We went to practice area and trademark law, and we also went into practical guidance, where we went to intellectual property, and then from there, trademark law. Remember, again, while we're here in trademark law, that's where you're going to look for actual registered trademarks.